you know, this here, da, 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 da. When you see that safety here, you know, you got to make sure you anticipate. So now he's teaching, and it was just a beautiful thing. So when I began to learn, I began to put my trust in him. Like I said, Coach Stockstill was still there. I always had a confidence there. But man, it was just one of those things of, man, it was like, okay, I could do this. And then finally, that day, one scrimmage that summer, it just clicked. And office was like second nature. And it's like I knew exactly what to do before it happened. I walk up to the line of scrimmage, and I see the defense, and like, oh, I already know what y'all doing, so we about to do this. So it just clicked for me.
Wow. So at that point, you already know. So and that's good. That's going into your junior year.
1999. Yeah, that was
Junior. Mm-hmm. So your junior year, you come on the field, and at that point, you take off. Y'all hit the ground running. You hit the ground running.
Yeah.
You go.
He came in there. We had a decent season that year. Like I said, we had that first year. We had first time I think we won 7. We were like 2 games above 500. Went to a bowl game that first year, and then that following year, in the year 2000, is you talking about the takeoff. That's when we took off. We jumped the gates. We 8-0. You know, number 2, number 3 in the country. That was that year. But that, for me, you know, I'm a transparent person. I think this gonna help somebody. For me, it was a double-edged sword, because of you get out there and you perform it week in and week out. You know, one thing with me, I've always, and to this day, struggle with insecurities. Okay. And you wouldn't know, because of the way I carry myself, the way I think. But you get out there, you have a great game. And I can remember having a great game and then getting, you know, dressed and getting on the bus. It's like, now all of a sudden the pressure jumps on your back. And it's like, oh, will I be able to do it again? If I don't perform, will I lose my job? Will I lose my scholarship? You know, all these craziness started. So a good friend of mine, and it kind of put everything in perspective for me. He said it's years after. I heard him say it's year after, but it was actually what kind of I went through. He said, adversity introduces a man to himself. That's Marcus Lattimore. So just in case Marcus Lattimore said, adversity introduces a man to himself. So when you get in place, yeah, it is. So for me, it's 2 things you can do with that insecurity. You can either allow it to make you tuck and hide, or you can allow it to make you focus in and become better. And that's what I use. I took those insecurities, and I made it to where no one was going to outwork me. No one's going to know more than me. So every time I said, the best way to combat insecurity is preparation. So I want to make sure I was prepared for every game. I was prepared for every classroom. I was prepared for any and every situation I was going to enter into, because that would get rid of those insecurities so I can go out and be free and play.
Okay. Wow. Now I'm going to tell you something. That is very deep. So what did you guys actually finish the season with that year?
That year we ended up, I think we finished 10-3.
Okay.
That year, because I ended up, it was a North Carolina game. I ended up getting hurt, so I kind of hobbled through the rest of the year. And
Tar Heels are NC State.
Yep, Tar Heels when I got hurt. Matter of fact, that's when my guy Willie came in, threw for a touchdown, and brought us back to a victory. You know, Willie Simmons, he was the backup quarterback then. He's now the head coach at Florida A&M. So
wow, shout out to him.
Yes, that's my guy too. I said he was my coach after a while.
Wow. So what were you doing? You was a senior or junior at this point?
At that point, I was a junior.
Okay.
When Willie came in, yeah, because he came in 99, Coach Bowden's first year. So that was his second year there.
Okay.
In 2000.
All right, so you was a junior that y'all had the year that y'all went 10-3, or you a senior the year y'all went 10-3?
I was a junior the year we went 10-3.
10-3. So you were junior. Okay, so now coming to your senior year, now you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So now going to your senior year, because I remember, I think your senior year, I was a freshman at OW, I believe. I graduated 2005. I think I might have been freshman. freshman or sophomore, I can't remember. But coming into your senior year, you had Heisman hype.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I
Mm-hmm.
remember you had the Heisman hype. I remember. I remember you. I remember playing with you on NCAA '99 when they had the block characters.
Yeah.
So I remember that because NCAA is always a year, it's always like a year behind.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
you had a good year in 2000, you have a good the '99 thing. Okay,
Yeah.
so you had Heisman. How was that pressure? I don't know if you call it pressure or not. I don't know what you
Yeah.
want to
I
call it.
mean, it's just kind of feeding off of what I just said. It's one of those things of, for me, it didn't matter. I could care less.
That's a
Like,
big deal, though. That's a big deal, though. Wood.
it's a big deal when that's your mindset. That wasn't my mindset. I could care less,
Okay.
and I understood the magnitude of that award for the program, for the school, for the city, for the state. I
Mm.
understood what that meant. But as far as for me, I pushed because I was a firm believer that, look, if I take care of what I'm supposed to take care of, everything that's attached to it will come.
All the
My
time.
yardage will be what it needs to be. My performance will be what it needs to be. Any awards that's going to come is going to be what it needs to be. But if I
Okay.
make sure I understand defenses, I'm the best conditioned athlete on the field, I'm a strong leader, I'm taking care of my stuff in the classroom. If I take care of that stuff, everything,
Everything is gonna come.
yeah, everything that's attached to it is going to come. If I go out there shooting trying to get those things and I miss these fundamental principles, I'm going to miss it every time.
Miss every time. Everything's gonna come. Hey guys, if you're coming on here, this is episode 75. Hit that like, hit that share button, hit that like, hit that share button. I'm interviewing the legend, Woodrow Dantzler III. He's not gonna call himself a legend because he's modest, but me being a former Oliver Wilkerson athlete, we're gonna call him a legend. That's us speaking. I'm doing it for all of us who shout out to EJ, like he said, he used to argue all the time, Woody was better than Vic. But shout out to EJ for saying that in here. But okay, so you're going into your senior year. How did the senior year? You got the Heisman hype going into the year because I remember this just from the other side. Was just being up from the bird. We ready for it. Because now, correct me if I'm wrong. Is that the year that Ed Crouch run it? The Heisman?
Yes. Nebraska, yes.
Yep.
So
Wow. See, it's crazy how I can remember that from the video game.
yeah.
So he ended up winning the Heisman, which is
Mm-hmm.
very debatable.
Yeah.
At the very least. Those who remember, he ran a triple option. I remember that because they ran it.
Yeah.
So, did you feel now? This is my thing. Now, correct me if I'm wrong again. I think, hey, now, see, well, this how you know. See, man, you an Owensboro legend. We talk about you in my locker room every day. You, because y'all guy was the guy you looking at. You, Alex Barron, Jonas C. Right? Because they was younger than you. But those
Yeah.
are the guys. Shout out Big Jose, even though he was at Savannah State. We just talk about Jose because that was the biggest human being we've ever seen, probably. But did you finish? Did you finish fifth or sixth in the Heisman vote? I might be wrong.
That's a good question. You might have to Google it because I have absolutely no idea.
Okay.
I know that year it wasn't necessarily a struggle, but Coach Rod had left,
Because he
and
got a job at West Virginia, right?
yes, so we honestly we didn't have any offensive identity that year. So we kind of struggled to find who we are. And it was just the fact that that group that I came in with, we're all now seniors, and we basically mounted together like, look, I don't care what they call, we just gonna make it work.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things. So it was that's what that was about that year. So I mean, we had a decent season. We ended up going to a bowl game. We again, I think we were back maybe 2 or 3 games above 500, so we
Okay.
qualified to a bowl game. So that
But
was
but that's the big difference from going 10-3. So I got a question. So I'm not a coach. You were actually there. I'm just thinking from the common man. If I have this stud athlete at quarterback, I've seen what happens when he runs the spread offense. Did they not think this to get another offensive coordinator that could implement another version of the spread, or did it try it and it just didn't work? Or
it just didn't work because we like I said, we just didn't have that identity that we had before. We were trying too many new things sometimes, and sometimes we'll see like let's say we're going to play